Welcome, my name's Anthony King. I just wanted to say that this series is based upon my book, Living in a Bubble, which is available on paperback and Amazon Kindle. If you want to know more, you can find it on my website, anthony-king.com. Thank you. Welcome, my name's Anthony King. Now, if you're watching this video, it's likely that you've been diagnosed with high-functioning Asperger's or autism spectrum disorder, ASD, or you might believe that you're on the spectrum, or maybe a friend of yours is, and you'd just like to know more. According to the National Autistic Society of the United Kingdom, there are around 700,000 people in the UK living with autism, and that's more than 1 in 100 of us, and this includes Asperger's syndrome and all those with autism. That's a lot of us. You're not alone. I feel privileged to connect with you via this video and my book, Living in a Bubble. Think of this as going on a journey together. I see it as you inviting me into your world, so please do something for me. Imagine that every time you watch and listen to a part of this series or read the book, that I'm a friend sitting with you, speaking directly to you. You might also be a special interest, which means that you might be a partner, parent, or friend of someone on the spectrum, and you are welcome too. I ask that you be with us as an observer, completely detached and non-judgmental. You have full permission to eavesdrop on our series, but please remember, be respectful because this is a very personal subject. Your role is just as valuable and special, and the fact that you are taking the time to understand this subject is an honour, so thank you. Now, I'm going to speak with you. Let me say something again. You're not alone. However, I totally understand that you might initially feel skeptical. At this point in your life, you may feel extremely alone, and the 4 words, "you are not alone," certainly doesn't change that. They're just words, but this can be a turning point in your life, and I'm going to assume that life has sometimes been a challenge and often confusing. Living with ASD, in my opinion, can be one of the loneliest places, but I want to assure you that I've walked the same path as you. I want you to know that I know how you feel, and I'm thinking about you, and I think that these words are going to help you. If nothing else, you will realize that there are others who walk the same road as you, and that in itself can be of help. When I was diagnosed, I had mixed emotions, and they were hard to quantify. The overwhelming feeling was that I was alone. I left the doctor, who was incredibly kind, with the feeling that I wasn't in particular need of any medical attention. I may have just needed someone or something to give me a little encouragement and point me in the right direction. I didn't have anybody. I initially read everything I could on the internet. Most of it was hurtful and appalling. I called up the autism charity helpline a couple of times, but it was always engaged. I then decided to purchase some books, but I was in for a surprise. There were hardly anything relevant to me as an adult. There were lots of parenting advice for children on the spectrum, lots of books about young teens on the spectrum, but not a lot for an adult who'd just been diagnosed. I found textbooks and science books, but nothing relevant for me. What I needed was something personal, something that would give me a little encouragement at a confusing time. There was no doubt that ultimately I would be all right, but during that time, I needed something I couldn't find. So I decided to write that book called Living in a Bubble, which this series is based on. I wanted to write a book which included information about traits and important things to look out for based on personal experience, coping techniques, and practical ways of helping. In a way, this is a kind of self-help book series, but I hope a little more personal than just a textbook encyclopedia. I also wanted to tell you about how ASD has affected my life and how I've interpreted those experiences through the lens of Asperger's. It's very possible that you may relate because you may have gone through similar experiences. In a nutshell, with this book and series, if I am talking about it, it means that I have experienced it. If I'm telling a story, it means that it is real and actually happened. I'll change the names. The situations and stories themselves are real though. This video series, along with the book, will give you hope. The techniques really work, and I'm here to deliver good news. It's been really nice to connect with you today, and we will continue our Living in a Bubble series in our next video together.